Cycling advocates were vocal this week after a Denver woman was struck and killed by a car near Washington Park. Residents who are against adding more bike lanes have said that the added protection would violate historical features of the neighborhoods. And most of the time we talk about bike lanes, especially on this show, it's been about transportation and options and people out of their cars.
Yeah.
Actually, talking about safety is a much bigger deal and could be, frankly, a political winner. Do you think we're going to hear more about safety when it comes to bike lanes?
Yeah, I think so. So the city of Denver, only about a fifth of their current lanes are protected. And this is like the barriers or the little poles to prevent. And the argument that they make is that the woman who died, Alexis Bounds, the truck reportedly didn't see her and crossed into the bike lane that had none of these barriers or protections. And the argument is, had it been there, she would likely still be alive. And that's a really visceral argument because she has these beautiful photos with her young children, but I think the question for Denver too is how much do they want to spend on this infrastructure? Now they're discussing spending even more money, but we just had a story out today that says to build out the full network of bike lanes as they have on the books now is 18 years.
People in Longmont know how long it is to wait for some sort of transportation option for 18 years. Denver's not used to that kind of wait. Patty, you're a longtime Denverite. How is Denver going to respond to this one?
I think it's going to be really mixed. People are, as Anna said, there are these unbelievable pictures and the sadness of what happened to this woman. Second big death this month, or in July, of a bike activist, or in her case, just someone who wanted to take a spin around the park. But it is tricky because if we're still looking at 18 years to build out what had been planned before, if you drop things to make safety in a bike lane that was a bike lane, I mean, the dump truck just maybe didn't see it or just ignored it, that will slow things down still further. And other people in other parts of town, it's not that they're so worried about the historic ramifications for Marion Parkway, they're worried about when will I ever get my bike lane.
Krista, what do you think is the reaction that we're going to see from the city of Denver on this one?
You know, I hope they work on those bike lanes. We're going to see more and more people biking, whether it's biking to work, biking for pleasure, whether it's wanting to reduce their carbon footprint. People like to be on bikes, and we need to have structures in place so that they remain safe. And if you think about it, Washington Park is a beautiful neighborhood, but it's not, we're not capturing it what it was 100 years ago. There's all kinds of modern things, from signs to modern cars to modern streetlights. So to add some protections for bikers, I think is important. And I also want to put a plug out for my friends. It's called bikestreets.com by my friend Avi. It's a way of getting off some of the busy streets and onto the less busy streets. So I see a combination of private and public initiatives to try to make biking safer because it's going to get a lot more common.
Eric, wrap it up for us.
Well, obviously it's a tragic story with this woman and her family. I know the intersection. I bike through it regularly. It is a dedicated bike lane. I mean, you're not sharing the lane. Obviously, there was an accident here and somebody wandered into the dedicated bike lane. As avid as a bicyclist as I am, I have to say that if this town is going to spend $10, $20 million, whatever is being talked about, on transportation right now, I think there are other issues. Witness all of us and just struggles getting here for the taping through traffic. And yes, to Chris's point, biking is going to grow, and I'm part of that growth. But biking by itself is not the only transit need in this town right now, and I'm not even sure it's number one.